Hello and welcome to the 14-day summer challenge here at Pilates Bay Online. Today is day 1 and this video is also on YouTube, so hello and welcome from there as well. If you want to practice with us for the whole 14 weeks, make sure to sign up that you can also get practice with us tomorrow. All of the practices, all of the videos will not be longer than 13 minutes, 30. So that it's easy for you to include into your daily practice, and all that you need for that is yourself and a mat or a comfortable ground that you can practice on. Make sure that you move in your own pace, in your own time, that feels comfortable for you. You can always press pause and jump back in after, and to make sure that you align the movements to any injuries that you're dealing with. Okay, with that being said, let's get going. We come into an all-fours position, having the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips to start with. Spread your fingers slightly so that you have a good firm connection on the ground, making sure that you press the chest in between the shoulders and the knees are really balanced underneath the hip. You start with a nice cat stretch, so you just arch the lower back and open your chest. And with your exhale, tuck your tailbone in and round your back, really into that angry cat position. With your inhale, you'll open. And with your exhale through the mouth, you just round it in. Just getting slowly started. Take a breath in. Maybe you even look up to the ceiling and exhale to round. Nice, you come back to your flat back and just take your hands on the left corner of your mat. So just that you kind of go around the corner here. You have your hands parallel to each other and you just round your back in. And inhale to open the chest. Just as we did in our regular cat and cow, just now turned over to the side. Go ahead one more time. Inhale to open. Go ahead to find a flat back and just turn it over to the other side. So that we just get the spine nice and ready for our movements here. So we round it in. And inhale to open up. Go to round, exhale. Really feel that your tailbone tucks in. And inhale to open. Go one last one. Inhale to open. Go to find your center again, where you have your hands underneath the shoulders. From here, just tuck your tailbone in and your toes under. Lifting your knees, hovering them over the floor, and to then directly press it up into your up stretch, into your downward facing dog. Maybe you need to walk with hands or feet a little bit front and back to really find that nice pyramid shape here. Sending the peak of that pyramid high to the sky, lower the heels to the ground. Breathing it in, stretching it out. Good, and to then look to the front and walk with your feet towards your hands so that you can slowly come here into a standing position, curling it up vertebrae per vertebrae. Nice. You open the arms over the side, stretching it out to then lower over the side and come with your hands into like a prayer's position in front of you, so that your palms are together, your elbows wide, same as your shoulders. Shift your weight over onto your left foot, hinge slightly forward so that you can make a big step back into a lunge position. Here you want to bend your both knees, keeping the right heel lifted. And to then push it to the front and take that right knee right in front of your hip, reaching it through. You step it back into that lunge, standing up straight or like having your spine straight. Push it to the front and take the knee into your chest. We go for 5 more here. And feel really that pressure from the back foot, reaching it fully through. You bend, finding my balance here, and reach it through. You can also modify by, instead of like reaching the leg fully up in front of the chest, you take it to the front and just tap the toe down. And then reach it back. And take it front for one final one. Good, reach it up and then step the foot down. Directly go to the other side, so you shift your weight over onto the right foot, making sure that you have your hip leveled up. And to then take the knee in front of the hip. Same thing, you shift forward, step the foot back, lunge, push it to the front, and take it through. Good, you step it back, making sure that you really fire up that left glute, helping yourself to find that straight posture. Good. 3 more to go. And especially when you reach with that knee into your chest, you want to let the left hip drop down. Last 2. Reach it up. And last one. Good. Bring it up and step the foot down. Whew. Good. You lower the arms. You take a breath in and open over the sides up. With your exhale, you want to lower the arms. Come into a squat whilst you come with your hands into your prayers position. To then lift yourself up and press your arms back. You come into prayers as you lower. And reach the arms back as you lengthen. Facing from the front, you bend and you straighten up. Making sure that you have a bit more weight on your heels than on your toes when you're in that squat. Going down and come up. That's it. Feeling that tailbone tucked in, especially when you come up into standing. Letting the breath flow. Good. If you want to add a little extra, you come from here, the next time into a releve, so you come onto your toes, and then lower the heels down as you come into that squat. So you lift it up, and then lower it back down. Good, and lower. So do you really feel here that balance on the bigger football, where you have more weight right underneath the big toe, keeping your feet parallel to each other. Let's go for 4, for 3, pressing it back, going for 2, and one last one. To then keep it down into that squat, holding it here, and come into small little pulses. Letting the breath flow in and out. Dipping it up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach it up to standing. Inhale. And exhale, circle the arms over the side and directly come into that standing roll down. Letting the arms fall to the front. You take a breath. And then bend your knees and slowly come down into a seated position. Placing the feet right in front of you. Whew, already getting warm in here. We have a beautiful summer day today here in Amsterdam. You're going to lengthen the spine up and you hold yourself in your knee pits to start with, coming into that assisted roll down. So you come chin to chest and you curl it in, rounding your back, tucking the tailbone in as you fully lengthen your arms. So then bend your elbows and slowly bring it back up. We go again. Exhale, curl it back. Inhale. And exhale, curl it up to the front. So that you're always in your seated position. Feel those sit bones rooting down. Coming up, and we call this one the C curve, since we want to draw that letter C in your lower back. There we go for 2 more. Articulating the spine here. And roll up. With your last one, You want to stay in that position. To release your hands, palms facing each other. We want to come here into like a bit of semicircle action. That means you want to open the arms to the side, just where you can still see them when you look straight to the front. To lift your arms up to the ceiling, soften the shoulders, lower them back over the side, and take them back to the front. So you open, you lift, and you lower, and take them back to the front. Throughout the whole time, you want to tuck that tailbone in. Soften the shoulders down as you lift, and take it to the front. We have about 4 more here, with open, lift. Really challenging for that lower abdominal to keep that round shape, spine tail towards the forehead. I mean, just the direction. Of course, that's not possible. Last 2. Good. And to the front. Last one. Reach it up. Lower it over the side to the front. And then from here, roll yourself back up into a straight spine. Nice. You're going to straighten your legs out to the front. Pointing your toes, and just give yourself one full roll down onto the mat. Extending your arms next to your head, and find here for a moment that deep stretch from fingertips to toes. Before you circle the arms over the sides and place them down next to you. Good. You come here with your feet onto the mat. Arms alongside, to just find your feet a little bit closer to your glutes, closer to your butt, and you have that neutral spine position. We have a little bit of space underneath the lower back. To start with your arms next to your body, you want to start tucking your tailbone in, so you make an imprint of your lower back, and you slowly roll yourself up into your bridge. Nice articulation of your spine. Feel more weight on your feet than on your shoulders. And then start lifting your arms up to the ceiling. Palms face each other. And from here, just soften your spine down. Bring it into the neutral pelvis. To then tuck it in and slowly curl it back up. Good. We go up and down for a couple of times here. Think of peeling each bone, each vertebrae off until you reach to your shoulders. But also here, when you're in your bridge, you feel much more pressure on your feet than on your shoulder blades. And then to lower it back down. Good. Really sequentially rolling up and down, aligning your breath to it. It's really nice to also find some space in between each vertebrae. So to feel of lengthening as you come down. Let's go for 2 more. And lower. With your last one, you want to stay uplifted in that bridge. For more support, you can always come with your elbows down on the floor, by the way, or come with your arms fully down on the mat. We're going to come into a little bit of a twist for our lower spine. So you stay with your right foot really pressing into the mat, and just drop your left hip as if you let completely go of any tension in that left glute. Have to feel that rotation here into your hip and your pelvis, until then bring it back to center. You let the right hip drop, and the left knee is really reaching out far to the front as you press with the left foot into the floor. And then bring it back center. So you drop and reach it up. So it's really isolated into the pelvis. The rest stays still. We don't want to like go with knees to side or side. Keeping the knees quite balanced and quite leveled with your hip. Sometimes what I see in my classes when you drop, that the knee is really opening far to the side, or that you drop it over. So here, really focus on that hip alignment. There we go. One more time to each side. And reach up. Last one. Good, reach up to then stay with your hip leveled and just take both hip bones further up to the ceiling and release slightly. Reach it up and lower. Reach it up and lower. We have about 4 more. Using your squeeze and your butt, trying to not push yourself too much onto the shoulders. Keep the weight over the feet. Last 2. Last one. And to then slowly curl it back down. Take your arms next to your head for a moment. Breathing it into your rib cage. And exhale, let it go. Good, circle the arms over the sides and then push yourself up into your side laying position. So we want to come here first onto our forearm. Stacking the knees together to start with so that you have your heels in one line with your spine tail. Your elbows right underneath the shoulder and you want to lift yourself out from the side. So we don't hang too much here on the shoulder as if you would like chill at the beach. Even if it's the summer challenge, we want to work on that shoulder stability here. Good. You're going to extend the top leg out. To start with, have the toe in contact with the floor. Really reach from the leg so that you have more weight on the hip than on the shoulder. With the top hand, do whatever feels good, maybe on the hip, maybe behind your head, maybe in front of the chest. Once you've found your position, you just lift the top leg up, you flex, you point, and you lower it down. Good, you lift up, flex, point, and lower. Taking the exhale to lift so that you feel also here rib cage closing together. Flex, point, and lower. Good. Working here onto our legs. A little cracking in our ankles. Good. Flex, point, and lower. 3 more of these. Flex, point, and lower. Last 2. Nice. Having the neck long. Good, and lower with your last one. You want to stay pointed and have here small little pulses going up, 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 and up. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, we flex the foot and we pulse it up, 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 and up. Go for 6, 5, long neck, 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Good. I've had that one, definitely. We stay already in that position where we are now, having the bottom knee down, the top leg straight. We directly come here into a side lift. So you want to lift your hip up and then lower it down. Maybe you need to adjust elbow or hand, just making sure that you have here still that support to come up and lower it down. Last 2, and lower. With your last one, you want to stay uplifted, extending the top arm up to the ceiling, and to then thread that arm through the gap, throughout those, thread the needles, and then inhale, reach it back up. With your exhale, you lower it down and thread through, and inhale, reach it up. Good. Twist and turn. Inhale up. We have 5 more to go. Really coming into that twist in your torso. Good. Last 3. Good. Last 2. And one final one to reach through. Lift it up, lower the hip down, bend your knees, and come up into that seated position. You just want to hug the knees or like the ankles into your side, and the arm that you were leaning on comes into a side bend, opening up the side, stretching it out. Good, and then lower the arm down. Whew, let's directly change it to the other side. So you just swing your legs over and coming here also into that side laying position. First, finding your way around, having your elbow underneath the shoulder, your heels in line with your spine tail, knees bent, stacked over each other, to then straighten the top leg out. Also here, find that weight more onto the hip, and then you maybe need to take the elbow further under as well. Open chest, we start lifting the leg up to point, flex, and lower. Good, we exhale, lift, point, flex, and lower. Good. Working with those ankles here, and lower. Feel the pressure from the elbow away. And feel your breath helping you to really lift out of that waist. I always like to use the image of like a corset around your center that is closing together with your exhale. Good. And last two. Point, flex, and lower. With your last one, you want to stay up lifted, point the toe, and come here into small little poses, going up and down with that leg. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, flex the foot, inhale here, exhale, we pause with a flexed foot, going up, 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 for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Good, you stay with that foot where it is. Same as with your elbow, we directly come here up with our hip in that assisted side plank and lower it back down. Exhale to lift up and inhale to lower. Last one, you want to stay uplifted, reaching with the top arm to the ceiling. And we're going to thread it through. To inhale, reach it up. Long arm and then twist and turn. And inhale, reach up. Threading through the gap. We have about 5 more. Inhale. Feeling with the exhale how the rib cage can really relax. Allowing a deeper rotation. Last 2. And last one. Good, and then lower the hip back down. Good, you bend your knees in. And so then come also here into that side stretch. Leaning with the arm over. Taking a deep breath into your side. And to then wiggle the arms around. You want to come from here back into like an all-fourth position for a little bit of leg presses and some arm work. Pressing from the chest, from the floor away, having the chest in between the shoulders. And to then tuck the tailbone in, but also tuck the toes under. Especially from the left foot now. We want to release the left knee up. And then kick the leg far away. And inhale, bend the knee back in. Exhale to kick it out. And inhale to bend it. Good. Feeling the length in your neck. Especially pressure from left hand and right knee down. And trying to keep that pelvis leveled up. So that you think of a glass of water on your sacrum. We're going for 3. Inhale, bring in. Last 2. And in. With your last one, you want to keep that leg out here. To then start bending your elbows into your chest, and you come with your nose closer to the floor, and to then press it back up. So you bend it down. And exhale, push it up. Inhale. And exhale, push. We go for 5. Reach arms long. So it's really like as if you would do like a push up, but just with your elbows close to your chest. So instead of opening to the side, you keep it narrow. Last one. Push it up and then lower the knee down. And sit for a moment down onto your heels, opening the knees a little bit wider. Taking your arms to the front, maybe with your palms together. And to just lower the forehead down. Taking a couple of breaths here. Good. And then from here, slowly roll yourself up so that we can do that same set on the other side. So we have the spread fingers, chest in between, aligning the knees and the hip to then tuck your right toes under, hugging the belly in, and to then release your right knee and kick the right leg out and bending it back in. So we really level up the hip, having the left knee under the left hip bone. Sometimes the tendency is like that we shift our body weight over that knee and kicking it out and in. But I want you to more keep that alignment and use your abdominal from the bottom to help yourself finding that posture. Right hand is pressing down, lots of pressure on the right shoulder. Last 3. Long neck, last 2. With your last one, you keep the leg straight. And to then start bending your elbow in and pressing it back up. Bending in and reach it up. Good. So it's the nose reaching further forward. Last 2. Whew. And last one. Good. And then lower everything down. Open the knees a little bit wider. And then sit it down onto your heels. Coming again into short child pose. Reaching with your arms to the front. And really opening up the rib cage. Go for one more breath. Good. To then roll yourself back up into that all fours. If it's too hard on your or too heavy on your wrists, you can always roll up your mat and just like have a bit more padding underneath, which helps to take a bit of the weight off. Or you can also always come down onto your forearms. I'm going to come a bit in a plank section here. So make sure that you have enough space behind you. You have your tailbone slightly tucked, and you also tuck your tailbone, the toes under. You want to release your knees from the floor and to then step the right foot out and the left foot out to find your plank position, and just hold it here for a couple of breaths. Extending through the heels, finding the crown of your head reaching out to the front. And you just hold it here for a couple of breaths, feeling the inhale, opening the rib cage. And the exhale, hugging the belly in. One more breath. And exhale, lift your hip and find that up stretch one more time. Similar to how we started. Find that beautiful pyramid shape. And to then start walking it on the spot, lifting one heel after the other. Finding that stretch in your back. Good. And to then from here, lower the heels, lower your knees down, and find your way into a seated position to finish off. Good. So you want to come here to a final stretch into like a straddle position. And you take your left knee in. I'm going to be a mirror. left knee in and having the right leg open to the side, having your right hand in the inside of your leg. To take first your left arm up to the ceiling, softening really the shoulder down, and to then rotate it open towards the left, and then reach it into a side bend over towards your right side. You can intensify that stretch a little bit by pressing with your hand on the inside of that ankle, calf, or knee, wherever you are. And to then reach it back up. Let's do that one more time. So you slide it out, twist and turn. And to reach it back up. Good, you lower the arm down and you change it to the other side. Taking your left foot out, drawing the right knee in, the foot on the inside of the thigh. Hand on the inside of your leg to then take your right arm up to the ceiling. And then rotate it open and lean it over towards your left. Really nice stretch for the spine. And lengthen up. Good, one last one. Reaching it over, long arm, right arm long next to your head. And to then lengthen it back up. Good, you lower the hand down, you come into a cross-legged position. Taking your hands next to you on the floor. And just allow yourself a deep breath in through the nose as you lift the arms up. Open your palms and lower your arms, chin to chest down. Let's do 2 more of these. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, lower down. With your last one, you reach it up tall to the ceiling, you close your hands together, and then lower them down in front of your heart. And with your hands on your heart, you just take a moment to thank yourself for joining in today. And I thank you for joining me here at Pilates Bay Online for our first day of the summer challenge. Like I said, the next 14 days are going to be fun, 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, I always say 13. Videos only with your own body weight. If you're not yet part of the virtual studio, then jump on into the link on the subscription below, and I'm happy to see you there tomorrow for day 2. Bye.